All right. So here we are in day 10, which is insane to me. We are in day freaking 10 of these live videos. And today I am talking about one of my favorite topics in all topics that we can possibly talk about. Well, maybe not all topics. There's a lot of topics I like to talk about. As you find out, I'll try to say this is short and sweet, but we all know that I usually let it run a little bit longer than intended because I like to get into it. So today I'm talking about how the rules are all made up. This is one of my favorite things because it is one of the most critical mind shifts that can happen, that can expand your idea of what is possible, of what can really happen in your life. We are all raised in a specific society, in a specific culture, with specific religions and specific ideas of what, well, the dogs are at it again today. Olive, no. Come here. Um, Specific ideas of what all of these things can look like, of what is actually possible for our. Hold on, let me gather myself. The dogs have just all come up to greet me because I called them over. So we are raised in a particular way, in a particular society, in a particular country, in a particular city, and with particular religious ideas, with a particular family and cultural upbringing, and ideas of how things are supposed to be and should be, and expectations within that. And there's varying degrees of expectations with that in that. There's degrees of expectations of how we're supposed to show up, of who we're supposed to love, of how we're supposed to love, of what marriage should look like, of how we should be as parents, of what kind of jobs we should get, of how we should show up in those jobs, of how we should dress for those jobs. All of these rules, though, they are all, hey, come here, they are all entirely made up. The the word desk is made up. The word desk, someone had to decide that the thing in front of me is a desk and that this is a microphone and that this is a computer. All of these things had to be created. The rules and the rules of how a society operates, of how we're supposed to do things, of how all of these things are supposed to be constructed are all entirely made up. And the part of it that I think is so important to understand. You might say, but I like some of the rules. Sure, we understand that within the constructs of society, there are things that are illegal. And if you do illegal things, there are consequences. Or if you don't listen to your parents when you're a kid, there's consequences. Or if I walk out of my house and go to a store naked, there's a consequence, right? It's not legal for me to walk into my grocery store without any clothes on. But the important part of understanding that everything is made up, all the constructs are made up, is that within the constructs, you get to decide what you want to be true for you, what you want to engage with, which constructs you want to actually participate in. And that's the important part. That's the important part to understand is that within these constructs, within these, the dogs are going wild, within the constructs, you can absolutely opt in or out of whatever you want. Mind you, I'm not telling you to do anything illegal, but what I'm saying is if you have an idea of how family should be, if how you want to construct your family, if you want to be a single mom with one kid, or you want to be a single woman with no kids, or you want your family to be some other iteration of anything that you could possibly imagine, these things get to be your decisions. When you realize that you have free will and choice in all of it, the way that I want to spend my time, I get to make up. Do I get to decide whether the government taxes me? No. But I may choose to pay my taxes, right? It's finding the power in the choices you are making and recognizing that I may choose to put my trash out to the curb on trash night because I don't want it to pile up. These are choices. I may choose to keep the house I own or sell the house I own or stay living in America or move to another country. I may choose all these are all choices within my free will. That opens up also a portal to actually examine it. And when we start to examine the constructs that we have, maybe you grew up in a particular religion, it doesn't resonate with you anymore, or maybe a different area of the religion resonates with you. Maybe the way your family does things for the holidays doesn't actually work for you anymore. All of these things get to be examined, and you get to decide, I'm going to opt in and opt out of that. I'm going to reject this idea of how people think that things should be. And I'm going to have to put them away, actually, next time I go live, because they got fed dinner and they are hyped up. So I'm essentially going to leave that for consideration, because if you can start to examine that I don't enjoy the job I'm in, or I don't enjoy being somewhere 9 to 5, or I don't enjoy being in an office, this opens up the idea opens up the idea that you can find a way to construct it differently. And if you can open your mind to constructing it differently, you open up your life to way more possibilities. So what rules or constructs have you been thinking you just can't get past? As you're moving up the mountain, or even deciding what that mountain is for you, still deliberating how to get there and how to do it, what things are coming up for you that are saying, you can't do that because people don't do that, or women don't do that, or people your age don't do that, or that's not possible here, or whatever it happens to be? What are those things that are inviting you to leave behind, to say, actually, that rule's not for me? It can be for somebody else, but I don't want it. I've chose to live my life, me personally, in a way that's different than a lot of other people. I've chosen to start businesses over and over again, even when I've failed, because those things, the time freedom, the risk tolerance, the ability to be creative in that way, have been something that align with who I am. And because of that, I get to choose. I'm gonna have to record this one again, though. I get to choose and opt in and out of all of the rules. So, like I said, if you know what the rules are that have been created, then you can choose to keep them or to let them go. You can choose to create your life and your experiences in any way, shape, or form you desire. I invite you to Celebration Sunday tomorrow, where we get to celebrate anything we did this week. And also, I am offering for the next 9 days until the 19th of January a one-to-one 55-minute coaching session, which is a third of its normal price. So it's $99 right now, normally $333. If you want to get on a call to discuss something, anything I've been talking about, anything that's coming up for you, anything that is really like a singular focus to use powerfully in that 1 hour, please jump on a session. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to talk to you. If you have any questions about that, hop in my DMs, but I also put the link below. And I wish you a happy, happy, happy Saturday. Much love.